What's up, guys? Welcome back to another one. Today we're not fishing, but we're gonna do a little maintenance on the old Mercury. So we're gonna change the oil and the gear lube and then replace the fuel filter. So we're just gonna keep it real short and sweet and get right to the point. So let's do it. Alright, first thing, we gotta take the cover off the top. Alright, all you gotta do is pull this lever and release it, and then it'll pop right up. Set that off to the side for a second. Alright, next thing you want to do is get your drain plug and remove that. So it's down here, right here. That's your drain plug. That's your plug right there. So you're going to want to raise your motor up and picture the oil running out. Tilt it up just enough so that when the oil runs out, it's not dripping on any of the rest of your motor. That should be about it. When it runs down, it should miss everything right into the drain pan. Hopefully, that's the idea at least. Might make a big mess here, but that's the plan. Broker free and this. Oh, forgot one important step. Not only raise your motor up, but you're gonna want to turn it as if you were turning left. That'll help it. Alright, so this drain plug is a 18 millimeter. Let's see if we can bust it free here. Cool, perfect, right into the pan. Alright guys, so we'll just let that drain out for a little bit. Help it speed up a little bit. You can remove the oil fill cap, and that'll kind of get the flow going a little bit better. So all this oil is pretty much done draining now, just a couple more drips. Just wipe the last little remaining stuff with a rag. Clean it up a little bit. Lower our motor back down, sitting level, and then we'll change the oil filter. This is your oil filter right here. Some of them have a little catch down here for when you take it off for the oil, but it doesn't look like this one does. But either way, I mean, if it does or if it doesn't, it's best just to put a rag in there anyways to catch anything that spills. So I'll just shove this rag down under there just to help keep stuff clean. I mean, there's not going to be a bunch that comes out, but there might be a little bit. So if you don't have an oil filter wrench, you can use channel locks. I mean, it'll scratch it up a little bit, and sometimes it dents it, but just try to be careful. I mean, it's the old one anyway, so you're replacing it. The biggest thing is just being super careful when you put the new one on. There it goes. You're really only going to have to spin it about half a turn before you can spin it off with your hand. Yeah, I don't know if you can see in there. I mean, it's dripping a little bit, but not bad. Just a couple drops. But that's why we put the rag in there to catch all that stuff. All right, so let's get the new oil filter. All right, guys, we got the new oil filter. So obviously, I mean, this is just gonna screw on. It's all pretty simple, but the main thing here that you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get some oil and lubricate the top of this. It'll help it seat better, and then it'll help it from seizing up. Be easier, a lot easier to take off next time you do the oil. So a little oil here. Dip your finger in there. Just put it on here. Just make sure you get a good coat on everywhere. You don't got to put a lot, but just make sure you get it everywhere. So it's all coated up. Alright, then just grab it and thread it back on there. So the main thing here is just get it pretty much as tight as you can with your hands, and then do like a quarter turn with preferably a filter wrench, but all we got is those channel locks, so we're gonna have to try to make those work. You definitely don't want to over tighten it, but make sure that it is snug. So, I mean, these things will bend, these things will dent like really easy, so just put like, I mean, barely any pressure, just enough to grip it a little bit so you can give it another quarter turn, quarter to half turn. There we go, guys. I mean, it's a little bit scratched, but it's not dented or nothing, so it's fine. But yeah, just be super careful when you're using these. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the smartest, but if it's all you got, you can make it work. Alright guys, now we can put our drain plug back in. Just clean it up a little bit. And there's a little seal on there. It's a metal seal, so it should be in good condition, but just inspect it, you know, just in case. And if it is something wrong with it, make sure you get a new one, but this one looks to be still in good condition. So just clean it up a little bit and thread it back on there. So guys, you might have a little bit of oil dripping out of there. Before you put your drain plug in, I'd recommend wiping it all out of there, because once your plug's in, you're not going to be able to clean that up very well. Okay, then just get your 18mm and give that thing a good little tighten. Just kind of go by feel. I mean, you definitely don't want to over tighten it, but make sure it's pretty snug on there. Alright guys, now we gotta fill this back up with oil, and you already know where to fill it because you took the plug out of it already. So we're just gonna use that Mercury 4-stroke marine engine oil, 10W30. That's what's recommended in this motor. So I think this motor takes just over 3 quarts. So I'll put in 3 quarts and then start measuring from there and get it topped off. Alright guys, so if you got the little single quart bottles of oil, you don't have to use a funnel. But I got the big jugs, and the little ones are small enough that you can just dump them right in, and the bottle will go right in that hole, and you won't spill it all or nothing. But these big ones, if I try to do that, it's gonna make a big old mess. So I'm gonna have to use a funnel. Alright guys, so I got, I put just maybe a little bit over 3 quarts in there, and I'm going to check and kind of see where we're at. I might have to add a little bit more, but I think we'll be pretty close. So I'm sure you guys already know, but this little deal right here is your dipstick. You just pop it up, and then you can pull it out. Oh, and make sure your motor's level, or you're not gonna. Yeah, don't forget to make sure your motor's level, or you're gonna get an accurate reading. So, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's right where it should be. That first dot's your low mark, and then you got another little mark up here is your max. I like to put it somewhere in the middle. Usually up on the higher side, but yeah, it's sitting right there, so we're perfect. That's your low dot, that's your max fill, and we're sitting right there. We're about 3 quarters, which is just what I usually like to do. So yeah, that's the oil. Pretty simple. I mean, it took just a few minutes. Most of the majority of the time that I spent was moving the camera around. So yeah, super easy. let's do the gear lube. Alright guys, so the gear lube, you're gonna have 2 screws up here. It's on the opposite side of the oil plug. 2 screws up here. 1 screw right down there. First thing you're gonna want to do is remove this plug on the bottom. So this is where it's nice to have gloves because it's gonna get a little messy. Okay, so go ahead and take both of these out as well. They're gonna have seals on them, which you can see, and so just be careful that they don't stick on there like this one did. You can see it on there, and if it does, just make sure you get it off of there and really inspect these because you don't want water or nothing getting in there. So I mean, if there anything wrong with them, make sure you replace them. And you can get, I got these at the where I got everything else, you can get new ones. They're like $1 a piece or something, so I would just recommend getting new ones anyways, just so you can have fresh ones on there. Alright guys, this thing's pretty much done draining now, so we can fill it back up. Gear lube 90. So if you guys don't have one of these pump setups, then I would recommend getting one. It's gonna make everything a whole lot easier for you because this top screws off here, and then this will screw right into your plug there, so you can just, you don't have to hold it in there or nothing. Alright, so it's in there now, and so now we can just start pumping, and we'll pump this and we'll watch our holes, and one of these holes you'll start seeing the lube come off of, or the lube will start coming out of one of these, and then that's how we'll know it's full. So let's start pumping. Alright, there you can see it coming out right there. So get your plug, get one of your screws, and I give it a little bit more. Yeah, it's coming out, so pop that screw back in and then start pumping again. And now I'll wait for it to come out the front hole. Alright, now it's running out of there, so put the screw back in. Now the top two are on. We just gotta mess with the bottom, and usually it creates a pretty good little vacuum, so it doesn't leak out too bad. But just have your screw ready, and as soon as it pops off of there, just kind of get it on there as quick as you can without losing too much. Alright guys, here's a little tip for you. When you get your when you're done using your lube, your gear lube, just tape it up to the top. Just like that, or however you want, but tape it up because this thing, the cap doesn't seal very well, and if you just let it hang, it'll just leak everywhere. Yeah, so guys, that's pretty much it for the oils. I have that fuel filter that I was telling you guys about. I wanted to replace this filter right here, but what I didn't realize is they gave me this filter, and this is like it's a fuel filter, but it's the inline filter, I guess, like the high pressure one, and it goes down in here. But yeah, so anyways guys, I'm gonna just do a separate video on the fuel filters. So I wanna replace that other one, and so I gotta go get that part, and I don't really have a bunch of time right now to go do that, but I'll put it on another video with both of the filters, because I mean, I probably should replace this one anyways. It's probably a good idea. I don't know, it doesn't, I've seen a couple of videos of guys taking a bunch of stuff apart to do it, but this one, it looks like there's quite a bit of room, so I may not even have to take a bunch of stuff off. I think I can just reach down there and replace it. So they're both still pretty easy. But yeah, guys, the oils, most places are charging. I was looking like $300 plus to do like a service on it. And so, I mean, it's super simple. Like anybody could do it, and you save a couple $100. So I'd recommend just going. I think I bought all this stuff for like 82 or 85 bucks. So I mean, you save a couple $100 doing it yourself. And you don't. I mean, you just need a couple simple tools, and it's pretty simple. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. But stay tuned if you guys like bass fishing. In the next couple months, it's gonna be warming up, and we'll be doing a lot of bass fishing videos. So should be pretty sweet. And yeah, just thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.